Often people move from working in a job to being a contractor on an ABN as a sole trader. This is more often common in the IT industry nowadays, which I'm seeing. Now, when it comes to getting a home loan, most banks will treat that as a self-employed because a sole trader is a form of a business owner, and therefore you need to have at least 1 or 2 years tax returns. But the banks are now changing their view on this, and one major bank is actually willing to give you a loan with as little as 6 months since you've moved from your PAYG role to your contractor role on an ABN. What they require is they require 2 BAS statements, of which they look at the sales figure and annualize that, meaning your last 2 quarter BASs, add those 2 up, times it by 2, and they compare it to your previous year's income when you were employed in a PAYG role within a company. As long as those sales add up to be at least 90% of your previous year's income, they can use up to 120% of your previous year's income. So for example, let's say in your previous IT job, you made 100K a year. You were employed in a company, they gave you a 100K base salary, exclusive of super. Let's say then you moved on to being a contractor because your income was going to increase. 6 months into that job, you can show 2 quarters of BAS as long as the sales are at least 90% of the 100K, meaning at least 90K, you can use 120% of that as your income. So that means if you're on track to make 120K, you can use that full 120K because it is in line with your previous job. Now, what that means is you don't have to wait to complete 1 full year, because they acknowledge that you're a contractor and therefore there's going to be continuous employment. This is a great policy for these IT workers who have just recently moved because they can still continue their investing journey with this one major lender.